Hey, so we're diving into this one very quickly. Mini Q&A before we start though. Yes, I am a Grand Champion. Yes, I have made videos like this before. No, I do not care if you're stuck in plat but can hit a triple flip reset. It doesn't mean the advice is going to change for you specifically. And lastly, if you have to ask if being at a certain rank is good for a certain amount of time, understand that it is genuinely not important. We all move at different speeds. If you got to Grand Champion after 16 hours and have to let everyone know, but think you can disguise it by being one of those people that says, "Hey, is this good?" You're probably the same guy who only does nice things for the sake of telling people they did something nice. Now a quick word from our sponsor, me. Hey there, did you know I stream on Twitch? I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in other videos, but yeah, I'm a streamer. I stream like every day. It would be cool to see you there. In fact, I'll even pin a comment with my Twitch link so you know where to find me. That's it. That's the whole spot. I'll throw you back to the video. So getting into it, the first method I recommend using is something called the 3-2-1 method. You play 3 games, focusing specifically on 2 aspects of your gameplay, and afterwards, you watch one of the replays. By focusing on only 2 aspects of your gameplay, for example, your recoveries and your dribbling, you're putting all your attention on those 2 things when they come up in the game. This means that if you notice yourself still making mistakes when you're completely focused on them, you're going to find it much harder to use them just through muscle memory. At a Grand Champ level, a lot of your decisions get made instantly, or at least in a split second, in order to keep up with the game. That's why it is so important to train these things early on, to build a solid muscle memory. When it comes to watching back over one of the games, pick the one where you found yourself struggling the most with the 2 aspects you focused on, and watch over all of those in-game moments to see what went wrong. Slowing the footage down can also give you a good look at the small things you might be doing that are causing mistakes. Once you've gone over the replay and found the small mistakes you are making, head into free play and do a quick 10-minute session just focusing on the little mistakes. This is going to give you a really refined crash course on little aspects of your game that you want to improve. Obviously, you can repeat this as many times as you want to work through different areas of your gameplay, or even over the same mechanics over and over again to really drill the training in. But moving on to the next thing you can do to become a Grand Champ is to stop trying to get to Grand Champ. Yep, a little confusing, but hear me out on this one because it is one of the most important things to understand when it comes to ranking up. We all want to get to Grand Champ, right? The way to get there is by winning games. So, it is understandable that you would want to win at all cost and losing might annoy you. But also realize that losing doesn't mean that you won't get Grand Champ. It just means that you won't get Grand Champ right away. People tend to focus way too much on their rank, which gets them tilted when they lose a few games. At the end of the day, the only way to go from Diamond to Champ is by improving. The same way the only way to go from Champ to Grand Champ is by improving. So, why get so tilted when you lose? Everyone knows that you improve more through a loss than through winning. You make mistakes in the game and figure out the stuff you have to work on. Easy. The problem is when people don't focus on the mistakes and instead blame their teammates and luck. By taking on responsibilities, you allow yourself to change and improve. By denying you did anything wrong in the first place, you stop yourself from progressing. There's a phrase I've probably said in another video, but I'll say it again. Would you rather go down a rank or improve? People always answer, improve. To which I say, so then you shouldn't care about dropping a rank. If you actually care more about the symbol by your name than improving your abilities in the game, then you're going to have a very long and rough climb to Grand Champion. On top of that, understand that even though you might drop ranks now, if your focus is on improvement, once you've gotten better, you can easily gain those ranks back again, and then push even further to the next rank. You can't really get stuck in a certain rank in this game. With enough time and effort, you can push out and climb. I'm not going to say it's going to be an instant thing or even quick in some cases, but start putting in the effort and you will see results. The next thing I recommend is looking at your strengths. I talk a lot on this channel about how to improve your weaknesses, but this time I want to talk about playing to a very key strength. You are either a fast player or you're not. Simple. I am not a fast player. I have moments where I play fast, and it is something I'm looking at currently to see if I can build it up. But in the meantime, I am playing to my own game speed. This is something you should look at to implement in your own gameplay. Firstly, identify if you're a fast player or not. It's okay to not be fast, but don't pretend you're a fast player if you're missing everything you're going for. Boosting around the field all the time doesn't make you fast. Just be honest with yourself, no one is judging you. So now that you know what kind of player you are, play to those strengths and build on them. Faster players are unpredictable, can assert a huge amount of pressure at any time because their boost management is solid. They can make their way around the pitch, never running low on boost, and all of the touches are pretty precise. This is why you see really high level games being played at such a fast pace. Now if you're a slower player, like myself, embrace that. Position a bit smarter and be methodical. You might not be the mechanical god that you want to be, but you can put yourself in great positions by taking a quick second to think things through. Don't force yourself to play a faster game just because the opponent is. Force them to play to your style by slowing down with good positioning and precision when you're attacking. Same goes for faster players. If your opponent is a slower player, try to catch them off guard and force them to play outside of their comfort zone by rushing plays and trying to force them into bad positions. The one thing you don't want to do is start playing like your opponent. Simply put, if you're against a faster player and you try to outpace them, you will lose that race. You aren't going to play faster than someone who is naturally faster than you when you're playing outside of your comfort zone. So don't try. Slow it down. Stay aware of your boost in case you need to keep up with them. Make sure you're playing a smart game and don't take any risks. Now, there is an exception to this. If you're actively trying to increase your speed, then by all means, attempt to play faster versus speedy players. I do, however, suggest you really hone in on your own playstyle first before you try to change things up. Next, a very quick tip. Something that I think goes against things I've spoken about in the past. Normally, I'm very focused on being efficient and only really learning the essentials. But I know that people want to have fun in this game and try to hit some cool shots every now and then. So for this next tip, I suggest going into casual games and try freestyling. I've been messing around in casuals recently and I can see myself already getting better with reading the ball, small adjustments in the air to control the ball, and just general car control. It's a stress-free way to test yourself and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. You have the freedom to test everything without anyone really caring. I played one game where I literally just sat in my half and worked on my defending the entire game. But yeah, freestyling, or at least attempting to freestyle, is a really nice way to take a break from thinking about your rank or having any worries. You also get to work on some advanced mechanics that can improve your general car control just through the process of trying them out. Now, the last thing I recommend to people is to always solo queue. This is like the opposite of the last one. If freestyling is all about fun and happiness, solo queue is all about struggle and sadness. But the reason I recommend solo queue is because it forces you to take that responsibility. You have to learn how to adapt to your teammates and not get stuck into one style of playing. When playing with friends, you can find yourself not paying much attention from time to time. And when mistakes happen, I've found that they aren't taken as seriously and you tend to not look over those mistakes because you're having fun. Well, no more fun. If you want to reach that top level of Rocket League, you gotta get there with just the memory of what it was like to laugh. Solo queue forces you to learn to better your own playstyle without having to rely on others to clean up after you. Any mistake you make, you need to own. You need to learn when you're playing bad and why you're playing bad. Sometimes, with a teammate, you can fall into the habit of getting carried and knowing that even if you make a mistake, your teammates are there to back you up. This is dangerous. The higher up the ranks you go, the more of a liability you are for your team. You won't be able to keep up and you're going to lose more and more. So, play by yourself. Watch your games and look for mistakes. Stop blaming teammates and look to see how you can improve. You don't get GC by having good teammates, you get there by being a good teammate. All in all, this has been a very contradictory video. I said have fun, I said forget fun and embrace pain, but at the end of the day, all that really matters is that you make sure other people on the internet know how much of an absolute alpha you are by being toxic in every game whenever you lose because it's obviously not your fault, and telling people how you deserve to be a higher rank because it's not your fault. Because obviously, we all care and we believe you.